Hey y'all, it's Mex. So we're nearing the end of a miserably hot and stormy summer, at least where I live, which means cooler weather and year's end is right around the corner. And you know what that means?
Christmas!
Well, yes, but...
Christmas!
Okay, yes, Christmas, but guys, it's 4 months away. No decorations yet. Anyways, year-end is my favorite time of year for the music and movie review channels I watch, and has been for quite a while. Every year, all the music reviewers I watch, like Spectrum Pulse and Rap Critic, start to put out their best and worst lists, which are always fun. And, of course, that means I make mine as well, and I've been doing a top 50 at the end of each year, and man, I'm really excited to make mine this year. I really want to make mine now. Let's make it now. Wait, no, I can't. I need to let the year play out in full before I can make that. Wait, don't I have a bunch of lists already, made, stretching back to, 2004? Let's count down one of those. So my community voted, and it came down to the wire between 2006 and 2012, with 2012 coming out on top. Well, y'all missed out on a bunch of rock, and we're gonna get a bunch of pop bangers, that's right. 2012, a year where the world was supposedly going to end, the year I became old enough to legally drink. But oddly, what with college and working full-time at a restaurant as a waiter, I don't really remember much of 2012, outside of a few highlights and a couple of major lowlights toward the end of the year. But I look on all of it now as a blur. But what better way to refresh those memories than with the music of the era? Since around 2007, I had been developing more of an appreciation for pop, electronic, and rap, straying away outside of my normal rock roots. But by 2011, it was in full force. Playlists full of electronic, discographies of VNV Nation and the Russian Futurists, finally understanding acts like Katy Perry and Kesha, Klippa and Kitsune Squared on repeat, Late to the Party headbanging to Down by Jay Sean and Replay by Ayaz. It was in 2012 that I finally came around as well on dubstep. Given that this list has got to be full of life and energy. I haven't reflected on this one in a while, so anyways, real fast, let me clarify. This is not a best of 2012 list. This is a my favorite songs in 2012 list. So it doesn't actually have to have been released in 2012, and I'm pretty sure most of the songs on this list weren't released in 2012. And also, no age limit here, because this is a pre-assembled list that doesn't have my normal year-end rules that I've set the last couple of years. I ain't making changes to these now. What you see is what you get. Also, for these old lists, repeat entry rules also do not apply. Anyways, we are counting down my favorite songs of 2012. Number 20. All right, what little pop starlet do we got here? What EDM or club bang are we gonna talk about? I know we're about to drop the bass so hard it makes me make JPEG images with the checkerboard background so they look like transparent PNGs, but they're not. Let's get ready for the high energy, foot stomping, head banging sounds of...
It's when you're standing on your own and you feel you've got nobody around you. Yeah, you know I'll be the one who helps you from your knees.
The fuck? Man, talk about not getting consent before castrating this video. So in the early 2010s, while I started listening to EDM and electronic and pop more frequently, my taste in rock began to evolve into something softer, more sentimental, more mature. You know, acts like Band of Horses, Midlake, The Shins, stuff like that. And also a little bit of adult alternative. I started appreciating it more. This I would consider a byproduct of that for sure, except this played on the overhead speaker at work, and I liked it. This little song emotionally captured me in the chorus and ultimately has a positive message, and the guitar leads between the verses are really catchy. I know it might seem a little mid to many of y'all, but I recommend this, and the album as well. It's a fantastic album. Number 19. Okay. Now for the real bangers. Let's go! This wild track is definitely a product of its time. This falls into that weird electro-punk genre that started popping up around the mid to late 2000s. A couple of genre parallels I draw here would be Inner Party System, She Wants Revenge, Family Force 5, or I guess 303 but good. But let's be real, the glitchy synth riffs and the way the vocals fall into the instrumentation on the back half of the hook got me. Awesome track, check it out if you haven't heard it. Number 18. Fuck me, god damn it to hell, big ol' fuckity fuckaroo, I hate everything. What I'm trying to say is there's an Owl City song on here.
Dear God, I was terribly lost when the galaxies crossed and the sun went dark. But dear God, you're the only North Star, I would follow this far.
Wanna know something? This album on Spotify, it's so painfully white, they actually had to put a no-rap version of Alligator Sky at the end of the album. They censored the rap out of an Owl City song, because I guess that was just too much for middle-class soccer moms. Okay, I'll confess, for about 3 or 4 years, I really did love Owl City though. Adam Young became a constant presence in my favorites list, and again, I love when lyrics just kind of trail off at the end of a hook. It's just a thing in music I really like. But the melodic progression here is really nice as well. It's just a fun and well-balanced song with a positive message. Mind you, this song does have a religious undertone, and it's easily ignorable if that ain't your thing though. It's a good song. I recommend it. Number 17. God, this list just turned so white, it just started singing Hakuna Matata to its kids at the warthog exhibit in the zoo. What is happening here? Where are all the bangers and the jams? What's with this cinnamon toast mid-Walgreens intercom soundtrack shit? Well, this actually comes from the soundtrack to a movie I liked called Space Dogs, or in its translated Russian title, Belka and Strelka Star Dogs. An animated movie based on the story of 2 dogs who spent a day aboard Sputnik 2 in 1960 to study the effects of zero-G on the human body. It's an okay movie, nothing special. And yeah, I really like Kimmel's soft vocals and the major key in the chorus. And if you wanted a contender for worst misheard lyric of all time,
yeah, that used to be me, but not anymore.
Yeah, that's up there with Hinder.
My girl's in the next room. Sometimes I wish she was you.
Cute song though, check it out. Number 16. Well, I may as well just go ahead and lump these next 2 together since they're both from the same movie. I promise, the entire list isn't like this. But yeah, it's kind of odd that all the neutered commercial core sentimental dreck is at the bottom. Hey, at least I ain't trying to convince you why it's number 1. Yeah, there was a period of time where intercom core made its way into my good graces. Sure, there was a song by Colby Calais in 2019 that I really liked, and trust me, you've heard Colby Calais, even if you don't know her by name.
My toes make me crinkle my nose wherever it goes. I always know. Didn't I tell you? But
then there were a few songs from the actual Walgreens intercom that I liked when I worked there, namely the One Churches song and the 2 Taylor Henderson songs. But yeah, I can defend these. Good dramatic swell, soaring sentimental vocals, if a little sappy. I'll admit, while I think Safe aged better as a song despite it sounding like a discount Tal Bachman with backup singers, All Roads Lead Home hits kind of on that Kings of Leon or Trading Yesterday's kind of yearning melodrama, or God, I'm gonna age myself with this, that Fiction Plane song from the end of Holes. Love the slightly rougher, more flawed vocals on it, so I'd say I actually nowadays like that song better than Safe, but they're both great songs, and I'm happy to have them here. Number 14. Here's one y'all might recognize. It was DQ'd from 2022's list for Recurrence. You know, for all 8 of you that watched that video. And despite my non-stop praise for this guy's discography, this here was my jumping on point.
The city is sinking and let them run if nobody follows. Yeah, the steel in my voice. Whoa.
Theatric, bombastic, melodic. 3 things Sahar Galt absolutely rules. However, I didn't mention previously that his mixing is a little odd. The backing instrumentation almost feels a little muted and lost here. Nonetheless, this captivating chorus melody is peak Galterius, and it definitely belongs on this list. Number 13. Remember, this is a My Favorite Songs of the Year list. Not necessarily songs that came out that year, but like I said in my 2023 countdown, it's gonna get kind of weird if I start including 90s songs on these lists, and lo and behold, this next one is a 90s song.
Anyone could see the road that they walk on is paved in gold. It's always summer, they'll never get cold, they'll never get hungry, they'll never get old and gray.
It's not so weird when you consider that this came out equal amount of time from 2012 to what 2010 would be now. Goddamn, I'm old. Anyways, unlike me, this is a timeless gem. A lot of folks keep calling this band a one-hit wonder, but did everyone just casually forget their song Out of My Head?
Was I out of my head or was I out of my mind?
That was pretty popular if I remember. But yeah, the way is catchy, the vocals are nice, and the guitar leads rock. The song is actually quite tragic too. It's actually the story of Leila and Raymond Howard, a couple who drove to a festival 10 miles away and never returned. Leila had Alzheimer's disease and Raymond was recovering from brain surgery. A horribly tragic story, but ultimately this song is a deserved classic. Number 12. I think we should just put this list out of its misery.
So tell me what you want to hear. Something that'll light those ears. Sick of all the insincere. So I'm gonna give all my secrets away.
Oh, look, Ryan Tedder singing a song about his fame and I don't know. I watched a video essay about TMZ recently and man, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the shoes of a pop star from the 2010s or 2000s either. But yeah, nice anthemic chorus here. Big summer jam for me that year. Found myself playing it on repeat a lot. Fun fact, my car back then actually, I could play shit on from the speakers because it had one of these doohickeys. You remember how phones used to have a headphones jack and didn't force you to use Bluetooth? You know what I have now? I have a phone that has no headphone jack and a car that has no Bluetooth. So look what they took from us. Yeah, more mid-ass alternative that I'm trying to say is top 12 on this list. I ain't got much to say about this, I'm stalling, but yep, it's here. Either way, I liked it back then, so number 12 it is. Number 11. There are a grand total of 3 bands I get hipster points for liking before they were mainstream. Car Seat Headrest before the release of Twin Fantasy, Portugal the Man when Sleep Forever came out, and here's the third. So the album this original demo of Ode to Sleep is from is called Regional at Best, an album which now lives in purgatory as it was released as the group was in the process of being signed by Fueled by Ramen. I'm assuming this album didn't get a proper release due to a contractual conflict, since a lot of the songs were repurposed for their debut album Vessel. Anyways, this was the version I originally heard from the band, and man, this song was just so ahead of its time, and it took a while to catch on to it, because it was just a lot. It's an eclectic roller coaster and switches tempo multiple times, but man, does this song kick ass, and that chorus, holy shit, like, probably one of the best they've ever written. Number 10. Yeah.
And let me guess, you like The Island Part 1?
No?
Well, it's time for another song.
When everything is said and done, so looking for answers, if only one turn my back, the edge has gone, left with no reason, we come undone.
Yeah, this song is overplayed, I know, but come on. They found the stickiest banger of a synth riff and chorus and put it into the same song with some amazingly potent lyrics. You can't not headbang to the song when the drum and bass kick in. It's such a timeless track, reminds me of driving to Anthrocon 2012, and is absolutely deserving of its fame. Number 9. There comes a point in writing these scripts that I begin to sound like a broken record and just try to combat that by becoming horribly self-aware. Look, there he goes again, complaining about adult alternative and how this list lacks balls. Actually, I don't think I've said that yet. But yeah, all this adult alternative singer-songwriter stuff with understated male leads, with all the raw and visceral grit of a Parachute album. What about those pop jams I promised? Weren't they coming? Where's my pop starlets? Well, here's Katy Perry. Yeah, this ain't doing much for me. Anyways, here's a YouTube cover I found.
Kiss me, kiss me, infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Take me.
If y'all weren't tired of the adult alternative lame-o singer-songwriter stuff, I bet you were giving me a big ol' stink eye right now. But come on, man, the original Katy Perry song is just so blaring and tonally a mess. While sure it might sound more extraterrestrial, you can make that argument, following a concept sonically doesn't automatically make it sound good. Here Alex lets the chorus have bite and passion, while the instrumentation admittedly feels a lot more programmed. I'd argue the pop sheen, though, works better here for the presentation. Now I'm probably just talking out my ass, but look, my ears hear a mess on the original and a masterpiece here. No, for real, this and Sensitivity are the two best things Alex Goot has ever recorded. Oh yeah, y'all remember YouTube covers being a huge deal in the early 2010s? Yeah, I know, Captain Late to the party over here with a member berry for ya. Yeah, YouTube covers were great, but usually never really amounted to any major success outside of doing covers, sadly. You deserve better, Sam. Number 8, Are we safe from the adult alternative yet? Jesus, corn on the cob Christ. Just remember, y'all voted for this shit. We could have had some real rock and roll. Instead, y'all voted for my basic ass jamming to the music I heard on the goddamn O'Charlie's intercom after closing. Anyways, 5 for Fighting, the project of one John Ondrzik. Because someone had to fill VH1 playlists and Lifetime movies between Train albums, and Nelly Furtado couldn't do it alone. God, this entire list is just roasting my 2012 taste in music. Just change the thumbnail to this. Anyways, in spite of my snark, I will defend this. Slice is actually among my favorite songs of all time. John's voice on this is gorgeous, and I'll be real, the multi-track vocals in the final chorus got me. It's just so damn pretty. While it did take a while to grow on me, once I finally vibed with it, I fell in love. Also, I made a music video about the history of furry conventions over the course of 30 years using this song, and goddamn, this aged poorly with me.
There was a time
Really, Mex? You're gonna do a self-insert for your defunct dance crew when doing a retrospective on FurryCon history? Anyways, yeah, I've been trying this new thing called trying not to make everything about me, so as much as it pains me to say, I don't like how I made this video. It kind of soured the song a bit for me, but it still is an amazing track. Number 7, Fucking Finally. Fucking adore this song to date, and I will hear nothing critical of this absolute banger. One of the best, most anthemic choruses in a pop song in the 2010s, even if the lyrics are a nothing burger. And until 24K Golden came around, this was probably the worst take I'd ever heard from Todd in the Shadows.
Jessie J is a better singer than Katy Perry, and I actually kind of liked this one at first, before I noticed that none of the lyrics made any sense at all.
Well, if you don't count his baffling distaste for the How to Train Your Dragon movies that he posts all over his Twitter. If you weren't old enough to have heard this play on the radio or just live under a rock, check this out and let your inner party out. God, I love this song. Number 6. To make my top 6 in a year like 2012 when I was dailying music, the song had to be on repeat for months at a time. And over time, those months can either age like fine wine or age like shredded iceberg lettuce, with the salad dressing already applied to it. What I'm referring to is that while tracks like Domino and The Island hold up very well, if not better with time, the early tracks from Skrillex remind us of a long dead era of music. Hey, if If you watch my 10 Years as a Fursuit Dancer series, you'd recognize this from the first choreography I ever tried to write, with those little squares I was talking about that I wanted to write as choreography. Fun fact, I still have that mix saved on my PC somewhere. What a time to be alive. All I can really say is, sometimes you just want music that goes hard and chaotic for 3 minutes, for better or for worse. Number 5. I shouldn't have any trouble justifying my top 5, as they're all generally agreed upon as good songs. Hell, if this is going to be the most difficult one to pitch in that regard, I'd say we're in good shape.
Give 'em hell, tender hands, gonna live life till we're dead.
Like, I legitimately forget this song is credited to Gym Class Heroes and not OneRepublic featuring Gym Class Heroes, because this is Ryan Tedder's best hook, period. Fun fact, this was the first time a song with a substantial amount of rap made my top 20. See, people can change. But yeah, this song's actually a really good pump-up anthem for the gym. It's soulful, it's rhythmic, and it's so catchy, it might just catch you by surprise. Number 4. So, 2012 was the big breakout year for singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran.
They say she's in the class 18, stuck in her daydream.
His song The A-Team was getting pretty substantial radio play worldwide and catapulting Sheeran into what would essentially put him as one of the great household names within just a few years. But honestly, I just love singer-songwriter stuff. Taylor Henderson is great. I defend Ryan Starr, Matt Kearney, Brett Dennen. Hell, like I said earlier, there's even a Colby Calais song I like. At the time, however, my favorite singer-songwriter was a YouTube act named Travis Ratledge, or by his furry fandom name at the time, Colson Granger.
You can take everything I have. You can break everything.
God, what a beautiful voice. Imagine if he covered A-Team.
Worst things in life come free to us, 'cause we're just under the upper hand. And go mad for a couple grams, but she don't wanna go outside tonight, 'cause in a pipe she'll fly to the
Uploaded to FA sometime in 2012, this just choked me up, for lack of a better term, right away. Ed Sheeran's A-Team works well because he understates the drama and the tragedy. The chapters of this woman's life just kind of waft by, and Colson captures that presentation beautifully, and I'd argue better. Now, some might come to the defense that Sheeran's somewhat messier performance had a lot of charm and character, and I won't argue with that. But let's just be real, Colson's vocal tone is perfect for this song. Absolutely amazing performance here, one of Colson's best. And yes, I'm talking about his entire back catalog, including Polite Fiction. I got his permission to upload a lot of his back catalog, by the way, to my archive. Feel free to check that out. Number 3. You know, I remember going to the water park back in 2012, that summer. Nights Action Park it was called. I remember getting my first GoPro that year and just mounting it to my car and just driving down the city streets at night and going for walks down the bike trail with my boyfriend and the dog and just going on bike rides throughout the little bike trail we had and just going through the open fields of Illinois. You know what we had in 2012 that just feel like it's been missing since? We had fun.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw.
Fun fact. Fun fact. Hell, I didn't even know this till later. That guy right there. Yeah, that's the frontman for Bleachers. Apart from that, his list of music achievements is just far too long and illustrious. But let's just say, he's been behind the writing and production for a lot of artists and songs you probably would be familiar with. Look, this song has been praised to hell and back, but let me just say that this one was one of the most inspiring and uplifting songs I'd ever heard, and the only time I will ever defend a marching chant in music. Phenomenal stuff, fondly remembered. Oh yeah, but that one part in the bridge where he really flubbed the note. You didn't think to do a second take? Really? Number 2, I had a phase that started back in 2011 when I became fascinated with orchestral music. And no, not like classical orchestra, more like Hans Zimmer type stuff. I gained a deep appreciation for it through songs like A Magnificent Journey by Denny Schneidmesser and a few of the slower VNV tracks. So, have y'all heard of a furry fandom artist named Fox Amore?
And oh, come lead me out of the atmosphere, and don't leave me without a window to see.
This was a collaboration match made in heaven. It was so good. In fact, they made an entire album together, by the way, but this to me was easily the best. The gorgeous instrumentation and backing vocals, especially the faint touches of wind in the bridge. And I won't carry on about Coulson's vocal performance any longer. It perfectly captures the feelings of longing and loneliness, almost perfectly capturing the feeling of laying awake at night in a dark room, looking out at the night sky, and wishing your lover was there with you. It's an incredibly moving song, and it's here for a reason. Number 1. So if you've dug through this channel's history at all, you've probably noticed that I really like making convention music videos. Hell, it's one of my longest running hobbies in video at this point. They're so rewarding to make, and hey, if I get a cool concept, I can run hog wild with it. They also give me a means to experiment and grow as a video maker. Now, I'd actually already been making convention music videos as early as MFF 2011 and started conceptualizing them as early as like maybe early 2011 or late 2010 after my first con. But my first one was...
It's a start, it's a flaw, work of art.
Stunning.
Homie, I'm the president.
Meanwhile, there were others making con music videos. A lot of them were way better than mine. And there's one fur who single-handedly made me want to make better videos. And that led up to me making my anthrocon 2012 music video, which is still to this day the second most watched video still up on this channel. And the video that kicked us off was his 2011 year in review video for furry conventions. And you know what? Let's watch it right now. Man, that song in the background. Where is that?
You show the lights that stop me, turn to stone. You shine me when I'm alone. And so I tell myself,
You know what? I had said this all video long. The original is better.
you show the lights that stop me, turn to stone. You shine me when I'm alone. And so I tell
Yeah, we're so far departed from hit music in my 2020s lists, but the crazy thing is, hit songs used to pop up all over my top 20. Hell, if you count the covers, they make up almost half the top 10 here. But yeah, after discovering the song in that video, Lights was my runaway 2012 favorite, and it wasn't particularly close that year either. Lights is just such a perfect, timeless song about, get this, being afraid of the dark. I love everything about this song. The subtle touches of synth, the vocal delivery, the chorus melody. My favorite thing about the song is just the mood that's set right from the get-go from those reverb scattershot synth notes. Just like my favorite games all come down to atmosphere, my favorite song of 2012 does too. Anyways, that's my list. Disagree? Tough cookies, it's my list. Want to share your own? Feel free in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, feel free to give this video a like and share it. Definitely clip it and share it across Twitter. Psst, I don't have a Twitter account, you could use the traction. Want to be super amazing? My Patreon link is in the description. $1 video gets you all of these videos over a day before anyone else, and heck, the highest tier gets you a guaranteed slot in collaboration episodes like album exchanges. Stay tuned for that casting call, by the way, that's coming up. Can't make a monthly commitment right now? I totally understand. Links to my PayPal and my coffee are in the description as well if you want to leave a tip for my work, but I completely understand if you're not able to financially support right now. Just watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting always goes a long way to boost the algorithm, but I hope y'all enjoyed, and as always, take it wheezy.